Hello, my name is Grian and today we're back with another episode of Build School. This time we're going to be looking at windows. Now it's important that I point out I'm not going to be showing you a multitude of window designs, but more how to tackle windows in general and some techniques that you can apply overall. So let's get right into it and sort of tackle what you can do first. So straight away, what you see on vanilla houses and a lot of houses in general is just this very simple glass block in the wall. This is totally acceptable and you can spruce it up a little bit by adding some detail, but there are so many more options that we can do, and the first one, very simply, is just replace that with glass plain. That half a block or maybe even a quarter of a block depth adds so much to it that it's so easy. Look at the difference, it's so much nicer with just that one simple block change. Now, the second thing that you can do is simply add some staircase blocks at the bottom and the top of your hole where you want the window, and it adds an even further element of depth that makes the glass seem a little bit more in place. And again, you can do that with different kinds of stained glass, which I prefer personally over just the normal glass, and you can have a bit more variety with them. But a window is only as good as the detail around it, so make sure that you detail it, and preferably using something that isn't the same colour as the wall behind it. It makes it a lot nicer to look at, and again, it complements the window. So next, I want to talk to you about how different shapes can look better with windows. I've done a simple cross here instead of a square, and this might look better in a centerpiece of a house, like near the top of the roof perhaps. And then again, you can detail it because a window's only as good as the detail around it. A window on its own is incredibly simple. You can just put glass in a variety of shapes, but honestly, you need to detail around it. Now, this one here is slightly different. Instead of putting the glass integrated into the wall, I have just made a shape in the wall and added glass blocks behind it so that it increases the depth a bit more. And as I keep going on and on and on about it, depth is very, very important in building, and again, you can detail those windows afterwards. So now let's put these two together. The two on the sides represent the half block depth, and then the one in the middle represents the full block depth. They really complement each other, and the variety really helps. So on the last bit, I want to talk to you about tackling large expanses of windows, because often enough, if you've got a huge build, you're going to need big windows. And there's no real advice I can give you here, except try and be more creative with your shapes. You can do a variety of shapes that work, or if you're feeling really arty, you could do what I'm doing here and drawing a little picture using stained glass. So I'm no artist, as you probably know, but there's a little tree there made of stained glass, and I personally think that it's a nice touch if you've got a really large window to do, but do make sure you know how to do pixel art. So I'm going to run through all the ones that we've just done, because windows is very simple, and these are generally the techniques that I use when doing windows. The use of the depth, the decoration, and the variety that you need to use when you tackle windows. It's very, very simple, as you can see. Just utilizing staircase and half slabs really help, utilizing the different colors, and try and create as much depth, even if it's only half a block of depth in general. And we're back to the start where I showed you the very simple difference. Like I said, there are so many different variety of window designs out there that I couldn't possibly show you them all, but these are the very fundamentals of tackling window design in general. You need to get creative with your windows. I just want you to use the depth, the decoration, and the styles. So that's it from me, guys. That was a very short build school, and I do apologize for that. Having built the castle for the last 3 episodes has been really tough. It was like a lot of work put into it, and I was like, oh, I just needed to take a little bit of a step back, do something simple. And I did see a suggestion on Windows a couple of times, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give that a go and see if there's any advice that I can give. When I got there, I found that windows were overly simple. They were just very, very simple, but maybe people didn't think about it too much when they were making them, how the depth could help, how the colors could help, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's it from me. If you wanted me to go into more depth about windows, I possibly could, but not right away. And again, I will be covering windows as I go through normal builds anyway, so this was just a bit of a one-off to go into detail about specific ones. So let me know what you want to see next. I have got a list of ideas, as I always do, and I go through the comments and write down any ones that have a particularly good one. And yeah, so please let me know what you would like to see next, because I love doing suggestions, as you very well know. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Goodbye!